we have no declarations of interest. Welcome. No public participation this morning. Oh, sorry, we do. We do have public participation. We absolutely have public participation. So first up, we have the Christchurch City Mission, and I'd like to welcome Melissa, who will speak on behalf of the mission about their outreach service. So please come to the table, Melissa. Well, there's a few of you, so Morena, and I'll leave it to you to introduce yourselves to us. Welcome.
I'm aware of the time.
Yes, it's tricky, isn't it? But
it is. Kia ora, Morena. We want to just very quickly introduce ourselves. I'm Melissa McCrenna. I'm the Social Impact Manager at the City Mission.
Kia ora, I'm Josh Gardner. I am Outreach Kaimahi.
Kia ora, I'm Matiu, the new Outreach Kaimahi for the City Mission. Thank you.
Look, we're of the clock. Thank you for the opportunity to come and update you on the work of the City Mission Outreach team. Initially, we want to thank the Christchurch City Council for your ongoing support of this mahi with the 3-year Better Off funding. This enables us to really strengthen this work. Firstly, we've appointed our second outreach worker, Matiu Taitoko, to complement and build on the work of Josh and all the work that Josh was doing in that space. This gives us more capacity. Secondly, this funding will allow us to extend this mahi into the weekends. Homelessness, as you know, doesn't just happen Monday to Friday, 8:30 to 5. So throughout this work, our key focuses are, number one, he tangata, he tangata, he tangata. Keeping our kaiwa, those who are homeless, at the centre of this mahi, building trust, listening to them, planting seeds, understanding what led them to this place, supporting readiness for change whilst maintaining their mana. The second focus of this work that we do is about building relationships with kaiwa, businesses, both in the inner city and also the suburbs, also community organisations and also our partners. We absolutely can't do this work on our own. It's all about communication, it's all about collaboration, it's vital. We want to thank the Inner City Collaboration Action Group. We're a partner in this group and have valued the shared solutions and joined our approach. Thank you to the council, to Rose, to John, to Gary in that space. So I'm incredibly proud of the outreach team and what they have achieved in this 12 months. We wanted to come and present a little bit about what we've done in that 12 months. We're going to do it really, really quickly because there's a lot of data out there and we want to have an opportunity for questions as well. Very briefly, there's been about 1,756 interactions with street whānau. That's around about 146 interactions per month. But there's been 320 new referrals from the public, self-referrals from businesses, from council. That works out about 27 per month. We've had contact with 375 businesses with 534 interactions. We've done over 570 referrals with kaiwa consent to a wide range of different providers out there in the community. A number of those within the City Mission in terms of our shelters, in terms of our day programs, but also MSD, health providers, and also housing providers. We've also, Housing First would have been one of those providers. We've done over 140 referrals to them, not just for referrals, but it's follow-up and also inquiries to that awesome community organisation as well. We've given out a huge amount of resources, 219 sleeping bags, 289 pairs of shoes, 114 pairs of socks. So many resources out there. We also want to thank those community groups for all the donations that we've had. We've housed 69 people with our partners helping us be involved in that space. But I really quickly, I'm seeing the time, Kaiwa, in terms of their voice, we wanted to share this quick quote with you in regards to the impact that we've actually had. So this is a quote for one of our homeless. I've been a client at the City Mission for a number of years. I did 15 years in the streets and became his client a few years ago. In my eyes, this man saved me from a life of drugs and living rough. He did it in a way I found unique. He did it with no judgment and few words. What he did was he sat with me when times were rough. He talked with me and gave me multiple options and opened lots of doors for me to choose which one I'd walk through. 3 times he was there for me while I attempted rehab. I failed twice with no judgment. The thing I found is he is a man of his word. If he says he'll do something, he did. If you spend just half an hour with him, you'll see he is respected and cherished by hundreds of street people because he is a man of his word. I'm now living and working plus studying in Wellington, addiction-free. Although he says I did all the work, I wouldn't have started this journey without his help, his respect and his honour. I don't believe I'd be where I am today. There should be more people like him. To me, he is an inspiration. So that's the voice of one of our workers. So we just want to leave it there. If there are any questions.
Oh, look, I'm sure there are squillions of questions, but we're out of time and we've got a fairly hefty agenda. But look, it's really important that you are keeping in touch with us. We really care, and we do have investment in the city and in the mission. And I want to thank you on behalf of all of us for everything that you're doing for our city and our people. Thank you.
Kia ora.
Oh, that was very moving. So now Brad Stokes, Cassidy, Will Davis and Brodie Gardner are speaking about threatening behaviour of some homeless people and their proposal for a change to the current public places bylaw. It's quite fitting that you're following that.
Yeah, it is pretty fitting.
yeah.
Yeah. No, it's a good, really works into what we're trying to propose. So, yeah, definitely hear you guys and agree with it completely.
Yeah.
So good morning, councillors. My name is Brad. To my left is Brodie and to my right is Will. We're 3 Year 13 students from Shirley Boys High School. It is a pleasure to be sitting in front of you today to share a proposal that counteracts an issue that affects many in our city.
First of all, we'd like to thank all the councillors who took their time to respond to emails and give us leads, feedback, and voice our opinions on this issue. Your contribution was much appreciated, and we definitely took any and all feedback on board.
Over the past couple of years, all 3 of us, as well as many people we have spoken to, have noticed an increase in antisocial behaviour from certain homeless individuals in Christchurch. We have also recognised that homeless people sleeping and begging outside shop fronts proves an obstruction and an inconvenience for both members of the public, shop owners, and visitors to our city. We want our streets to feel safe and for businesses to have confidence to trade. We also do not want our city to get a bad rap from visitors or tourists. Any form of antisocial behaviour could result in people not visiting our great city.
As proud Cantabrians, we'd like to effect change in Christchurch, and in particular in the CBD. We are pushing for a change in the public places bylaw to reflect something similar to what the Hamilton City Council currently has. We'd like a change that bans nuisance behaviour. This includes begging that is likely to cause harassment, alarm or distress to any reasonable person or causing an unreasonable interference with the peace, comfort or convenience of any person.
Please draw your eyes to the screen. This is a snippet of the Hamilton Safety in Public Places bylaw. The red arrows are the key areas we would like to target.
Many elected councillors have brought to our attention that a proposal like this could be in breach of the Bill of Rights Act 1990. However, after consultation with the Hamilton City Council, they have made us aware that a bylaw like this is allowed under the Local Government Act 2002. If a law like this was in breach of the Bill of Rights, Hamilton City Council wouldn't be able to have this bylaw in place.
Many prominent Christchurch businesses and institutions support our proposal as this issue has affected them and their operations in one way or another. Ballantyne's department store supports our proposal. As I'm sure many of you are aware, they have a large homeless presence outside their shopfront. Pi Convention Centre and the Christchurch Bus Exchange have also had incidents involving harmful homeless people.
It is evident change is needed. We feel strong that a new bylaw that addresses nuisance behaviour is non-discriminatory towards genuine homeless people, but this would incorporate a wider group.
We look forward to seeing effective actions taking place swiftly. Many thanks for your time and consideration. We're happy to answer any questions you may have.
Oh,
Thank you.
fantastic. We had a question, Councillor Goff.
Thank you very much. Do you know how effective the Hamilton bylaw has been?
We're still in consultation with Hamilton City Council. This is an ongoing thing for us, so we're definitely trying to work that out. We are getting current figures on the homeless population around New Zealand and stuff like that, and comparing the bylaws. Does the Christchurch City Council have a number of how many people are currently homeless or considered homeless in the city?
Perhaps we could have a look and let you know.
Yeah,
And we could forward it to you.
that would be awesome. Yeah,
Would the city mission hold that information?
yeah, would
We'll definitely get that for you.
cool. Yeah, no, that sounds good. Thank you. But yeah, no, we'll definitely look into that because obviously it has to be effective. Yeah.
I was just wondering if we could help there with contacting Hamilton. Do you think we might be a good idea? And we could send you that as well.
Awesome. No, thank you for that.
Any
Cheers.
other questions? Are you through to Councillor Goff? Councillor Kewen and then Councillor Scandrett?
Yeah, going by the presentation we had prior to you, which is very timely.
Yeah.
Have you met with the City Mission and the outreach workers?
We have
to
not.
discuss?
So in our inquiry, being in contact with the City Mission has been kind of the later part of it. So we definitely want to continue. And
So yeah, given they're here today, are you going to go swap numbers and?
we would,
'cause
yeah,
they'll-
that
those
would
guys will
be
give you a good heads up. and
yeah, absolutely. We'll definitely do that.
they
And-
want to get a solution as well.
Yeah,
So,
no, absolutely. And I feel like these can both work in together. Obviously, we don't just want to kick people off the streets and make them know where to go. We definitely want more funding and stuff like that.
69 housed is amazing.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. Yeah.
So Scandrett?
Yeah, thank you. 'Cause I guess with regards to begging, there are some outstanding guys out there. There's Mickey down by the boat sheds who actually cleans the street, etc. And
Awesome.
hugely respectful. And there are others like him. I guess it's just, are you looking at just kind of lifting the behaviour of some, or what? I mean,
Yeah, so any like behaviour that can be seen as antisocial, we're not even targeting just homeless people. This could be for teenagers loitering outside a shop front that like yelling slurs and stuff like that. We're not just targeting that group. So I guess there is a grey area between people who are genuinely homeless, and then people who are just causing a nuisance. But yeah.
okay, cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, it sounds like you've got quite a good appreciation of the problem.
Absolutely.
And it's not an easy one to solve.
No,
I
no,
know
no.
you know that. But yeah, I love the idea of you collaborating with the mission,
Yeah.
and I'm sure they'll be able to help you along as well. So we'll get you that information
Awesome.
too.
That would be awesome.
Hey, look, thank you very much for picking this
No,
up
thank
and
you.
coming in to talk to us. It's
Thanks
nice
for that,
to
guys.
see you.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. Cheers. Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers.
It's great to see the young ones stepping up and coming in. Mind you, everyone's young to me now. Right, moving on. The Atlas Quarter. Mark and Claire want to speak about requesting security cameras for the Atlas Quarter residential area. Welcome, Mark and Claire.
Kia ora koutou, thank you. So we can go to the next slide. So, strictly speaking, what we're asking for at the moment isn't so much actually for the cameras and for the funding, but it's for an investigation to find out how much it would actually cost. Is the infrastructure already there on the street to enable cameras to be installed? And we've been speaking to some council staff about this, and they indicated that getting approval for such an investigation would be the next step. So if we go to the next slide, seems like safety and security is the theme of the meeting today. And so yeah, as a large apartment development right in town with late night bars nearby and all that kind of stuff, we get security incidents. We probably are only scratching the surface in terms of what we actually know about that has happened. Certainly the police only ever hear about a fraction of what happens, but we're trying to do our best to take stock of everything that's affecting our community and encourage everyone to sort of communicate about it and engage proactively and try and find solutions. So if we go to the next slide, our body corporate formed a security working group because as you've alluded to, there are no easy answers for safety and security, but we got, so Claire's very ably led a group of people in our complex who are really passionate about trying to find solutions and trying to build consensus among our 113 owners in the complex. And they've done some great work, looked into what is and isn't feasible, and what the prices of things might look like, and they've really come to the conclusion that we kind of need a phased approach. There are some low-hanging fruit that we're pursuing, and then there are other things that will take a longer period of time. A really key message from the police is that cameras are important. They do help with seeing what's happened, if there are repeat offenders, trying to triangulate between different incidents and get to the bottom of things. But there are concerns among owners about, the privacy impacts of cameras, and kind of the place we've got to is where it seems like residents will be quite happy to have cameras at the entrances to the complex rather than actually on site, and they'd be quite happy if only the police had access to those cameras. So that's the advantage of the council installing cameras rather than body corporate, is then only the police can review the footage rather than the body corporate committee, which introduces privacy concerns. So if we go to the next slide, so you can see Atlas Quarter there. We've got two entrances. So Dundas Street is just behind Pack and Save, and you can get to our complex down Atlas Lane, or you can get to our complex on Wells Street. And so if it was possible to have cameras in the vicinity of those two entrances, then that would be really helpful for us to actually monitor when things have happened and help police get to the bottom of it. So if we go to the next slide, why do we think the council could have a role in funding cameras? Well, the council has a goal of getting 20,000 people living in the city centre, and so safety is an important part of that, and showing that people can actually live safely in the city centre. We were kind of the first cab off the rank at Atlas Quarter, getting into the city centre. Would love to see more developments. If you look at the streetscape, it still kind of reflects the industrial past of the area, and we're really keen to start seeing council giving the kinds of investment that are needed to reflect that this is now a high-density residential area. And if there are cameras that only the police can access, that will be an incentive to residents to actually report incidents to the police, because that's the only way that the security footage is going to be useful, and that the police might actually be able to take that to a useful conclusion. So if we go to our last slide, questions.
Do you have any idea what sort of money you're looking at for a camera?
It depends whether there's already cabling down the road and things like that. So that's why we would like an investigation. So my understanding is it would be like sort of a few thousand, but the low thousands per camera, but it's really dependent on whether there's infrastructure already in place, or whether that could be put in place as part of an upcoming upgrade to the street.
Yeah, one would imagine that there would be. Councillor Scandrett.
Yeah, like you've brought up a really interesting subject, because I think every single councillor around this table have communities that want cameras. And I'm not quite sure, excuse me, of the hierarchy, because as you know, with intersections, we have a hierarchy with regards to accident rates and etc. So I think that would be the question for me, because I couldn't support your request until there was some kind of measure throughout all communities. So it's one of those issues. The police do love cameras. I love cameras. I think they're fantastic, but there is a shortage of them and a huge need for them. So good luck.
I think once we understand the cost, that puts us in a better position to understand what the different options might be to make it work as well.
There has been talk of mobile cameras, so we could share them around different communities, but maybe that's an option. But I think it's something that we should bring up.
But I think it's really helpful that you've come in and explained to us your situation, and with some ideas. And I see you've got Gary at the table with you there, so we can follow up.
Cool.
See what we can do. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Nice to see you. So, Councillor Johansson, you wanted to acknowledge Tongan Language Week. Would you like to do the greeting for us that you were going to do at the beginning of the meeting?
It's just come through, so maybe at the end, or I can do it tomorrow. It's part of community funding.
Yep, whatever you want,
Yeah,
you let me
okay,
know.
thanks.
Kia ora. Oh, talofa. Okay, so that there's no deputations or petitions today, so we'll go on to our agenda. So first of all, we've got item 5, the Community Board Part A reports. We've got 2, item 5 and 6. So item 5 is the South East Central Neighbourhood Plan, which was approved by the Papaduina Central Waipapa Community Board. Does anyone have any questions? I've got staff here or not. Right, I'll invite a mover for this. I'll move it. Councillor Peters moving it. Seconder? I'll second it then. Is there any discussion? No? All right, I'll put the motion. All those in favour say aye. Aye. Opposed? That's carried. Thank you. Item 6, you'll remember this one came at the last week with the request for an alcohol ban. This is Northern Stanmore Road. The staff have had a look at the resolution and are now happy with it. So we approved the Edgware Village process last week, and this is just following along the same ilk, is just requesting work be done to gather the information to ensure that that if we're asking council to install an alcohol ban, that it does comply with the LGA and all the requirements that are needed there. So it'll take 6 months to do that work. So are there any questions on this one? No, we kind of did a lot of questions last time. So the resolution notes the concerns and support attached to the agenda report relating to the Richmond Resident and Business Association's request for an alcohol ban, and then requesting staff investigate the ban in the public places bylaw. Moved by Councillor MacDonald, seconded by Councillor Coker. Any discussion? Right, all those in favour say aye. Aye. Opposed? That's carried. Right, to our staff reports. Item 7, the